And we're back. We're ready to tackle some new stuff. Ready to tackle the RSX. Danny's car is all good to go. It's later in the week. I want to say Wednesday. So it's Wednesday today. And the garage is empty on this side. But this thing. So if you see, I'm pretty sure I mentioned in the last video that you guys already saw that this rear wheel, these rear wheels were not going to fit. I had it set that I didn't want to run the spacers if I didn't have to run spacers, which I'm not. So this is 18 by 10, 18 by 11. That's the actual specs exactly. The rear used to touch the strut tower with the barrel. That's a common problem with these cars and big wheels. So what we did is we hammered and pushed the inner, I guess the outer part of the strut tower, the inner wheel well in. That allowed us to clearance that. And we got this wheel fitted. It spins freely at this point. It doesn't touch the quarter. It doesn't touch the body of the car. So this side I did off camera just because I wasn't sure what I had to do and I didn't want to record myself pulling the wheel on and off 50 times. But, I mean, that's good. That's really good. The front has to come up a bit. I'm gonna match the front fitment to the rear fitment so the car is not nosediving super hard. And what else? I have a radio for it as well. So we're changing the radio out, that's locked. Putting a double din in there. And then what else? The motor raise, that's the important part. But we're doing it on this car first. So let's get, let's jack up the rear. Let's get working on that other side. Before I'm done for the night, I'm gonna pull Manny's car back inside because I gotta hammer some stuff on that too. So I might as well hammer both cars at the same time. Yeah, but yeah, let's go ahead and prep this thing. As you see on that side, I have that wheel off. I'll show, need a flashlight. I'll show you what it is that I'm working with. And then I'll show you, after I time lapse me beating the thing, I'll show you exactly what it is that we got. So here is where the wheel will touch. This thing is like a ½ inch to almost an inch off the body of the car. And this is what I have to move in. So we'll set you up. You can watch me on a time lapse to just beat the living shit out of this thing. And we'll come talk about it once I'm ready to fit the wheel. And we're back. And the other wheel on the other side is on the car. And it doesn't, I mean, I got a little bit of fender rolling to do still, quarter rolling, whatever you want to call it, on this spot right here. That's the only thing I got to really roll because it's kind of touching like the slightest hair. On the inside, it's not. Like the inside of the wheel well on the strut tower. So you can call this wheel officially on the car and it's under its own weight. I adjusted the front coilovers real quick. I wasn't gonna show you me doing the front coilovers because RSX coils, I have plenty of videos of me adjusting coilovers. You don't need to see that again. But the front's done. It's not rubbing, at least for now. I have to drive it to really know how bad it's gonna rub in the front, if it's gonna rub. But you can't really tell that I raised it, which is the idea. Now, I gotta start working on the motor mount, which is a whole different story. This motor mount, if you look, it's on a bracket. That bracket that bolts to the top of the transmission, this thing right here, that's what I gotta remake. I gotta make that an inch shorter. So if you look under the motor mount, this thing, there's about 2 inches of gap there. I'm gonna shorten that by an inch and remake that whole thing. Just like I did on the Genesis, add a plate steel like this, make a whole new bracket just to raise the motor. Then this motor mount on this side, that ugly looking thing, that's gonna get spaced out with washers and new bolts. It'll go up an inch, or I might make some like shims that I make out of like steel pipe, one or the other. The front mount, you can't actually see this one, but there's a motor mount under there that bolts to the side of the block. That one I just have to notch the hole that the bolt goes through, notch that thing so it raises it up. And that back mount under that shield, that's also bolted to the subframe. And I just spaced that out an inch as well off of the subframe, new bolts. And that's pretty much it. That's how we're gonna raise the motor. But the hardest part is this one. So I'm gonna get some support under the motor, start pulling the mounts. I'll swap this one right away, raise it right away, and move on to this side. This is gonna be the one that I have to take the bracket off. We'll start sizing it up, measuring, doing all that fun stuff. And yeah, we'll come back when we have an actual game plan of how we're gonna do the motor raise. So, and just like that, the car's in the air. I took some things apart in the meantime because I'm not gonna just bore you with me taking an airbox apart, but airbox is out, intake, all that stuff, battery is out, and the bracket is off. So if we look at it, oh, it's over here. So if we look at this bracket, the concept here is gonna be to shorten the height from here to the bottom. We gotta shorten this 1 inch total, so we'll remake that. The task, I guess the hardest part of the task would be making that step down for that bolt hole right here. But I think we can accomplish that. So tomorrow I'll start mocking that up. Fitment is dialed in. I might have to do some right height adjustment, but that's pretty much it. This mount, I'm soaking in PB Blaster. Same thing with the rear ones because they're all gonna be a pain in the ass to get apart. But yeah, we're gonna accomplish it. The front mount's gonna be a little bit of a task as well, but we're gonna leave that one for last. But yeah, I think for now, we can kind of wrap this up for today. I'm gonna clean up, put some stuff away, and get to editing because I'm gonna edit the video that you guys just watched because this is next week's video. Yeah, I'm ahead of the game. Let's get this thing wrapped up, clean up. I'll leave the jack under it because it's holding the motor. And we'll lay in bed and not get any sleep thinking about how I'm gonna actually finish this. Oh yeah, we got some stuff to do to this thing today. So it's a few days later. I had some stuff to do around the house, the garage, my cars. You guys don't care about none of that. So back to that. I got the mount over here, but I figured I can get all the other things raised because the measurement in this corner might change by a little bit. So if I can get the intake manifold torn apart, get this out the way, get that mount completely removed, get that mount moved, I can do the rear mount, the front mount, and that now. Figure all that stuff out first, and then do this one last since this one requires the most fabrication. So real quick, we're gonna move some of this stuff out the way, and I gotta disconnect the power steering line as well, just so I can get to this big stud here and get that nut off. This one's already kind of loose. I'll start taking all that stuff out and figure out what my spacing is, bolts, washers, and all that fun stuff. So let's kind of get set up, figure out where I'm gonna put you guys, and we'll go ahead and start working on this thing. If you're wondering about this, this is done. I did some clearancing in the front, readjusted some stuff, nut and bolt checked it. I do have it up because if I'm gonna be playing with the welder, his exhaust, if you look, he's dragged it really bad and blew through it. Somebody try to patch it. Yeah, that thing is cooked. So is that. I'm gonna see if we can figure something out. We might end up using that muffler just because we don't have anything else to use, and then coming up with a solution for this area and then mounting it back on the car. But this thing's done. We might drive it today, get maybe some pictures. If the weather doesn't get bad, he's gonna take it home and enjoy this thing. So that's but yeah, let's go ahead, start taking some of these hoses out, and then we'll do the intake manifold. I'm probably just gonna take it out right away on time lapse, and then we'll talk about it after the fact. So and we're back, and it's a whole nother day. You saw the time lapse. We took a bunch of stuff apart, and I gotta explain. So to reach the front mount on the motor, the easiest way is to take the manifold off. That gives you full access. The motor mount is right there. So my idea is I'm gonna move some stuff out the way, get that motor mount loose. That way it allows me to pivot the motor. I need to get this side done real quick. I already have the transmission mount loose and out. I showed you that. Yeah, I mean, you pretty much just saw me struggle with the intake manifold for most of the time. That's what took the longest. But I have it over there. snuck it out, got everything good, covered the runners for the intake into the motor. I don't want anything getting in there. I have a collection of bolts that all have to go back in the car, and motor mounts. That's pretty much where we're playing right now in the car. I think what I'm gonna do off camera is, or maybe I'll do this corner and the back. I'll show this on time lapse. We'll talk about it when I'm done. And then off camera, I'll do the back and I'll get the front loose. We can revisit when I do that and tell you more about what I gotta do, because this front mount is the only one that I really gotta do something different for. And then making the trans mount, but that's also pretty simple for the most part. Raise the rear, raise this one, and it's on its way. But yeah, let's get the tripod out, get that thing. Don't ask about this car. This is a family car. I had to check some stuff out, and yeah. We're gonna get the tripod out, get the camera on the tripod, and you guys can watch me from working over there. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And just like that, we are back. I got this motor mount all done. You can kind of see the little, spacer joints in there. Yeah, trust me, they're in there. Little spacers, little 1-inch rays. Now I can just focus on the transmission side. The front mount, I think I'll be fine with. I'll be able to work with that. The rear one, I just got to put the spacers in, which I already made. So that's all good to go. It's fucking boring. Straight downpour outside. But I had to go to Home Depot to pick up bolts. As you guys know, we always have to run a little bit of longer bolts. So, brand new bolts. This motor mount is back in. That brought up the motor. You can't even tell, but it used to be flush with the oil pan. It's like 1 inch higher now, obviously. So we just got to make the transmission side mount. Transmission mount right there. We just got to create the actual mount, which I have everything pre-cut. I just got to get the cutting. So I have the mount right here. I'll fab it up. Yeah. You guys are just going to see. It's getting late. I got to eat. I got to prep for tomorrow, pack my lunch, and be healthy and all that fun stuff. So we're going to go ahead, clean up the work area. And you'll probably be back tomorrow, and it's probably going to be raining. And we're going to try to get this motor fully raised. But let's do it. Let's just get the away. And boom, just like that, it's the next day, finally. And it ain't raining. That's not the plus though. The plus is that we got some work done. The bottom transmission mount, I don't even know what I'm saying, but the bottom rear motor mount. So if you look, see them little spacer joints up in there? Yeah, so rear motor mount is spaced out 1 inch, just like that. Little sleeves, longer bolts I had to go purchase. Same thing with this little guy. You can kind of see the little spacer things down there. Front motor mount is gate kept. I'm not going to explain how I did that because that is one of my specialties. I figured that out. Gonna gate keep. I'm sorry, guys. But the transmission mount. So I have the new one right here, ready to go. I'm gonna keep this off to the side as a little template thing, not arc it out on the battery. But what I have to do, as you see, I made a ton of space here. Look, I got a mess of wiring and all this fun jazz. But the motor mount initially mounts to here, here, and here. But this bolt sits lower than this one and that one. My idea is going to be that I'm just going to space this out with washers, make it even height so the plate is all flush right here. Make my 2 tabs 1 inch higher. Pretty much where the motor's sitting at right now is where it's going to be. So what I did is you see the level, it's pretty much in the center. I made sure my car was level. So if you look, the car crash bar is level with the 1 inch raise in the front motor mount, the side motor mount here, and the rear motor mount back there. I can use the level to bring the motor up to where it's going to live. And that's pretty much flush. So I can use this for mocking purposes. This old motor mount, as you can see, has seen way better days. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that off. I know I have to move the fuse box. There's a bolt in. Wow, you can't even see it, but there's a bolt in there, I promise. And there's 117 right here and 117 back there. Get them guys taken off. Some of you are probably asking if I could just space the motor mount up off the frame. Sure, I can do that. But then I'm gonna hit the bottom of the fuse box, and that's gonna create its own dilemma and all this other fun stuff that I'm not actually trying to deal with right now. And the other dilemma that I have is that I can't find bolts, and why not use an opportunity to make a new motor mount? Practice makes perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and try that. He'll keep all the stock stuff. And yeah, but for the time being, I think I'll set you up maybe from this angle so you can see everything that's happening. When I'm ready to actually start welding, clean up the welding table. This can all go, actually. This is all old. Anyways, I'll clean up the welding table. We'll get set up. We'll start tacking things up. And when I have an idea of what this motor mount's gonna look like, we'll come back and we'll talk about that. So let's go ahead and do that. And just like that, transmission mount is done. So you saw, we did. Basically spaced it up the inch. You can see, stacked some washers, made sure that this thing was sturdy. Same thing up there, same thing on the back one. Front mount, I'm gonna gatekeep from you guys because that is my specialty and that is the piece that people come to me for. So that's done. This thing, you can kind of, let me see if I can finesse. You can kind of see, yeah, the little washer pieces. And the floor is really cold right now, so I'm not gonna show you. What type of guy would I be if I didn't show you guys? Let's go under here real quick. If you look, boom. Spaced up, ready to mob. So the last thing that I gotta do in the engine bay is just put everything together. Put all this stuff together. Most likely where I'm gonna end this video, just because I don't wanna make it too long. You guys saw me doing wheel fitting and getting all that stuff done. So I don't really think we have to go over much of that. The front, I raised a tiny bit. I got that all situated. The motor raise was the biggest part. So that part is raised. The one thing that I did check, if I grab the level, you can see the bubble is in the center. And if we go to the motor, same thing. Bubble is right in the center. We're level, we are raised. 1-inch RSX motor raise, done. We can get the intake manifold in, get the battery tray, get all this stuff situated. I think that's where we're gonna end at. And we'll do some chatting. I have to get the car on the ground, and my idea is that if next video, this stuff is all done, I can go ahead and mob the car, get some rollers, show you what it's like. We still have to do some radio stuff to it. I have a radio to change out, so we'll also do that in the next video. The radio is over there, all the goods are there, harness. Yeah, we got the stuff. But yeah, this thing is pretty much almost, whoa, go back. This thing is pretty much almost ready to go. I need to get this motor back together. That's my biggest thing. So we're gonna set you up on the time lapse. We'll go ahead and get the motor raised. Motor raised, wow, I feel like I've said that so much. We'll go ahead and get the motor back together. See if we're gonna have any hood clearance issues, and hopefully close the hood. I gotta check axle clearance as well. I might have to clean up the area around the axles. I don't want them to hit, and just kind of clean up. So let's do it. No way this thing's back together. Look it looks stock. It's like nothing ever happened, except this motor literally sits about 1.5 inches higher than it used to. Pulley doesn't hit. I was worried about that, but the thing is done. For the most part, I still got some clearancing to do. I still got to do some red head adjustment, alignment, little things, and we can get this thing mobbing. Which, like I promised, next video, you are gonna see this thing outside mobbing. We'll get some rollers with Geo. We'll get outside, see how this thing drives with the extended lowers, the motor raise, the wheels, the tires, the music, all the things this car's done. Because you guys gotta remember, this car came in here stock, and it looks like this now. I mean, look at this thing. But yeah, real quick, I'm gonna go ahead, put the bumper on, just for aesthetic look, take some pictures for myself, and we're gonna end this one out. So let's do that. Let's clean up the work area. It's like 8 o'clock almost. Yeah, it's almost 8 o'clock. Sweep up, get this all cleaned up, close the hood, put the bumper on, make it look like one car again, and then we'll finally get to see this thing as a whole. With the motor raised, I don't gotta touch the engine bay no more. So let's do it, sweep up, make this place nice and pretty. We're gonna end this one out. Okay, bumper is on, hood is closed, car is on the ground. One thing that I did do off camera, sway bar, I had to cut it off because it goes above the exhaust and I wasn't taking the exhaust apart. So I took the sway bar off because it was hitting the exhaust after the motor raise. This thing looks so good. So damn good, man. Let me flatten the camera out, like, wow. Fitment in the front is beautiful. And the rear, I gotta fix the bumper, but man, this thing is gonna go so hard. But yeah, just take a look at it. I'll let you guys just stare for a second. Anyways, let me turn you guys around. So, as you guys know, I have the giveaway. It's live. From now, you have about 12 hours to enter the giveaway. If you have not entered the giveaway, if you are a new sub, if you're checking out the video for the first time, I'm doing a giveaway on it's not a merch plug, but not even my merch, but sponsor plug. But I'm giving away a Max Speeding Rods GT 3582. I always forget what it is, but it is sitting right there on the shelf, ready to go to one of you guys. So if you had not entered the giveaway, you have 12 hours to enter the giveaway. If you want to go ahead and join, go ahead, you still have time. Just go to our Instagram page. You have a few simple instructions that you got to follow. Make sure that you follow the Rayville page. Make sure that you're subscribed. Share the post on your story and tag 3 friends. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do to enter the giveaway. Real simple, real smooth. My camera is dirty and so is my face. But yeah, like I said, Max Speeding Rods, got them right there, got them right here. I'm giving away a GT 3582. If you have not entered the giveaway, if you are new to the channel, if you're visiting for the first time and you want to enter, you still got 12 hours roughly. Tonight at midnight, the whole raffle section, I guess I would say, will be closed. You will not be able to enter anymore after that time. Tomorrow, which will be Saturday for you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and go live on Instagram. I'll announce the time at work when I'm kind of situated. We'll go live, we'll do the giveaway together, we'll announce the winner, hopefully they're in the live, and we can give away the turbo. So, what can we look forward to next? This thing's gotta get outside, I wanna drive it, so next video, hopefully we get the radio done, get the last bit of suspension adjustment finished up, and we can get this thing out of the garage and move on to the next stuff, because I have some cool coming. Stuff, not that other word. I have some cool stuff coming. I can't get over it, I'm sorry, but this thing's all good to go motor raise wise. If you have any question as to how I did the motor raise, hit me up on the Instagram. Make sure that you reach out, ask questions, and I will try to do my best to get back to you. I know I'm bad at getting back to people, but I promise I'm working on it. Giveaway is live. This thing is done. If you have not entered the giveaway, 12 hours. That's all you got left. 12 hours. Hop down below. Copy and paste my Instagram. It is Raybuilt. Put it right here. Raybuilt. Go on Instagram. Find the post with the turbo as a thumbnail. Follow the simple instructions like I said. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the post. Follow us on Instagram. Comment 3 friends. Tag them. Hit them up. Tell them, yo, bro, enter the giveaway. So yeah, like I said, go to the post on our Instagram. Like it. Share it. Tag 3 friends. That's all you got to do. 12 hours. Come on. Enter the giveaway. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for every single person who is still here tuning into the channel and is still tagging along for all these things like the cars that come back every single time for more work. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for every share. We do this for you guys. My face is dirty, but guess what? We got some work done. Have a good night.